So we had decided to head off to Costa Rica.
What?
Beep, 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 beep. In first class. I had got herself a first class ticket and I was stuck back up in coach.
Oh my god!
At least I got a window seat. Lucky enough I did get a window seat because I was just astounded by the mountains and the landscapes that we flew over as the highest peaks of South America. It was just so awesome. I'm from this little city in Australia called Perth, all the way over in the southern hemisphere on the other side of the planet from South America. So we are pretty flat there, we don't get many mountains. Flying into Panama, lots of islands, very similar to the landscapes I was used to seeing, so I felt a little bit funnily at home. And then when we landed, it was a big airport, much like Singapore. Definitely a lot more people than Australia though. And after a short transit in Panama, we were back on another plane and transiting off to Costa Rica. We missed our third flight, but we got a shuttle from Monica. We were heading down to the southern region of Costa Rica, and there's only really two ways to get there, and that's either by plane with Sansa Air or by vehicle, the way we were.
We're going to go see the crocodiles.
Crocodiles? About an hour into the drive from San Jose Airport, we stopped at Dracoles River. You can see crocodiles from the side of the road off the bridge. They're not quite as big as the Australian crocodile, nor are they as aggressive. Still an amazing sight to see. There's also a zip line there that you could have gone on, but we chose to just go for a short little shop, get some refreshments, and back on the drive again we headed south. There's a ton of different tour companies you can use to get down to the southern region, but we used Frank Chicas Reliable Tours, and he was amazing. We used one of his drivers to take us named Monica, and she was gorgeous. My first stop on this trip was the open beaches of Estoril East. I found some really good waves up in the corner, and then I found some pretty good waves just out the front of the hotel I was staying in. There's a lot of homestays and hotels all situated on the beach here in Estoril, and it's pretty nice. The southern region is basically this lush mountainous rainforest with all these waterfalls that are just hidden away, and here's a little sneaky one we found. We had it all to ourselves! There's literally thousands of waterfalls like this all the way down through the south region, and knowing a few people that know where they are, it's quite easy to find secret ones with nobody else around. And this iguana just snuck up on me. Or did I sneak up on it? I was lucky enough to be invited along on this trip by Claire to Ojochal. It's where she used to live and own a beautiful little hotel. We decided to rent off Airbnb this time, and we stayed at Casa Linda's, which you can find on Airbnb for approximately $110 plus taxes. It was absolutely gorgeous too. Ojochal's a pretty rad little village. Here's the general store and the library just down the road from where we're staying. It takes approximately about 4 hours to drive to Ojochal from San Jose Airport. There's a lot of really cool restaurants here. Claire's favourite is Los Gatos Locos, and it's now my favourite too. It's owned and ran by this amazing couple, Steve and Kerry. All their food's made on site, fresh, like slow cooked meats. It's just absolutely amazing. Every Friday and Saturday night there's live music, so it makes for some good entertainment.
You know this one or not? Hey. I want to hear you. Okay, let's go. Look at this.
It's pretty cool eating in a tree house. It's such a unique bar. Their menu is absolutely to die for, and they're open Wednesday to Sunday and serving breakfast on the weekend. I found it quite inexpensive to eat at Los Gatos, with most of my meals coming in under $20 US with drinks. They also do the best nachos in the entire of Costa Rica, so when you go there, make sure you order them. my God, Costa Rica is just known for its beaches. It's so gorge. There's some amazing surf in Costa Rica's southern region, all the way from Estorils down to Dominical and then to Pavones, and there's so many gems in between. There's the obvious draw cards in the southern region, like the long, beautiful lefts of Pavones. But my whole mission coming here was to find these hidden little gems of beach breaks and reefs around every headland. But you definitely need a four-wheel drive when you come to this part of the world, because there's just river crossings everywhere you look. By road, it takes about 6 to 7 hours to get down to Pavones from San Jose Airport. A lot of surfers travel down to Pavones on Sansa Air, but unfortunately they don't take surfboards over 6'6". And I travel everywhere with my 9.6 log, so it looks like I was going by road. But there's so many gorgeous little beaches to stop off and surf and spend the night on the way down. We were gifted with absolutely gorgeous sunsets every night on the Pacific coast. The beach breaks of Dominical really reminded me of the beach breaks of Kuta Beach on the west coast of Bali. They're just little tide-dependent banks with like low tide being a bit of a closeout, and then as the tide come in, you got these amazing little banks that would hold up with barrels and long wrapping nice little waves. Dominical has this really awesome little surf town vibe. It has awesome little vendors that set up and sell little trinkets along the beach. But to be honest, I really enjoyed hanging out there. Any chance I get, I try and take a turn off the main drag. That way I get to see things that you wouldn't normally see. Often I get lost, but sometimes I find gold. Here's one of the little secret beaches I found on high tide. And nobody out! It didn't take me long to realise in Costa Rica, if you're willing to go on the search, you're going to find so many waves on your own. A lot of the waves I found were just perfect for logging, but I did see some really good shortboard waves and bodyboard waves. Who's going to complain when you're on your own, right? There's so much to do in Costa Rica, like getting lost down a dirt road in your 4x4 or taking a nice, huge hike up a mountain. Whatever you do here in the southern region of Costa Rica, you're going to be in for a sensory overload. Everywhere you turn and look in the jungle, it's absolutely teeming with wildlife. I was told about a restaurant in Avida called Los Laureles. Apparently it's one of the best restaurants in the region, so we decided to make a stop off there, and we were not disappointed. I got myself a plate of 4 fish tacos, and the other ladies got themselves an absolutely beautiful looking chicken burger each. Each meal came in at around $13 US. Sometimes there's nothing better than relaxing in a hammock after a long surf in the empty waves. For me, this trip was planned very last minute. Even though I was managing to find flights inexpensive and within my budget, I was also planning to fly back up to North America after this, and my flights were also quite cheap with so many options for airlines. There's 2 seasons here in Costa Rica in the southern region. You've got the wet that starts at the start of June and goes through to November at the end, and then you've got the dry that goes from the start of December all the way to the end of May. The rainy season's not too bad to begin with. You just want to avoid September, October and November. From what I've been told though, the surf is just absolutely amazing all year round. Being on the Pacific coast, there's just endless amounts of swell. This trip I'm on now has been filmed all at the start of March. Being a bit of a silly monkey myself, I really wanted to see if I could find and see some monkeys. In Costa Rica, you've got 4 species of monkeys. You've got the mantled howler monkey, the white-faced monkeys, the Jeffrey's spider monkey, and then the Central American squirrel monkey. I was so lucky to find and see some squirrel monkeys leaping and jumping across the canopy above my head as I went on one of my hikes. Unlike the Jeffrey spider monkey, the Central American squirrel monkey can't grip branches with its tail. It's just a balancing thing. A little bit like us humans, I guess. The locals call this little fella a Jesus Christ lizard because they run on their back legs across water. After this trip, I swear the hoppers were designed to torment me. Exploring new tastes within food is a massive part of travelling for me. I just loved the taste within the food I found here in Costa Rica. Here's a few things we got on our way. Pura vida.